Kia ora tātou. In today's headlines, Labour MPs have just voted to keep their chief. David Shearer put his leadership to the vote at a special caucus meeting this afternoon, following speculation that MP David Cunliffe was contesting the job. A former party leader is glad his colleagues have endorsed the incumbent. MP Phil Goff earlier confirmed he would be voting for David Shearer today and in February.
I think it's important that caucus makes absolutely clear our overwhelming support for David Shearer as our leader, taking us through to the next election.
Auckland's only rape crisis line will no longer be able to operate 24 hours a day. The government will cease assigning more than $100,000 in funds to the helpline. A spokeswoman says they're planning restructuring for the new year, which may involve some redundancies. Two competing trade deals will dominate the East Asia Summit in Cambodia today. New Zealand Prime Minister John Key is meeting with 6 of his counterparts involved in the Trans-Pacific Partnership to reignite discussions which had stalled because of the US election.
President Obama, on the back of his win, is now going straight into a meeting reaffirming his support for the TPP. That's our chance of getting a free trade agreement with America. And discussions will also be formally launched for a regional economic cooperative partnership between the East Asian nations. The Gaza death toll has passed 100 as Israeli strikes against Hamas militants killed another 24 Palestinians. It's the worst resurgence in violence in 4 years, and Arab neighbors and the UN are pressing for a diplomatic resolution to the conflict. But Middle East expert Professor William Harris suggests that could be complicated.
There do seem to be possibilities arising out of the discussions in Egypt for some sort of deal involving Hamas committing itself not to fire any more into Israel. I think one can read some of this into jostling and jockeying within the Islamist groups in the Gaza Strip.
While Hamas has declared conditions for a truce, Israel suspects Hamas would use that time as a chance to regroup. And furthermore, the militant's exiled leader has also indicated they're not afraid of ground warfare. Tia Fund aid worker Pastor Frank Ritchie is in Bethlehem and warns it's too simplistic to take sides.
If you want to talk about where they started, you've got to go back in history quite a way.
Into South America, Colombia's leftist FARC rebels announced a 2-month unilateral ceasefire as rebels and government representatives met in Havana with the aim of ending the continent's longest insurgency. The Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia promised to halt all military operations and acts of sabotage until at least January the 20th. And finally, the producers of The Hobbit are denying accusations that 27 animals died during the making of the trilogy. Animal welfare activists claim inadequate conditions and mistreatment led to the maiming and deaths of several farm animals, including horses and chickens. But a statement from Sir Peter Jackson says incidents brought to the producers' attention were investigated and acted upon, including expensive upgrades to animal housing. A spokeswoman for animal welfare group PETA maintains the deaths were entirely preventable.
We think it's a real tragedy that so many animals have died in a movie by somebody who's known for being able to generate images that aren't real.
Kathy Guillermo says PETA representatives will be present at the NZ, UK and US movie premieres to alert filmgoers about what happened on set. The world premiere screens in New Zealand next week, and there'll be plenty of Middleearth emissaries. Warner Brothers have revealed a star-studded entourage to hit the red carpet event in Wellington. Filmmakers Sir Peter Jackson, Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens will be joined by The Hobbit's cast and crew, including actors Martin Freeman, Kate Blanchett and Andy Serkis and Elijah Wood. Ka nui ngā karere mātua mai te whare kōrero rima Moriora.